Okay, so let me show you the magic picture again that I hope was helpful last time. And I've just obviously switched father with mother. What you're going to do inside your head is going to be a constellation that kind of looks like this. It's got 3 parts, the middle part. So is my voice okay to you guys? Okay. For a moment there, I was sounding a little.
It is echoey.
But for me, it stopped echoing. It was kind of monstery for a second there.
Okay.
Okay. So imagine basically that, you know, you're somewhere where it says the constellation. I should have put that in as well. The constellation is seen from above. Around the word from, you're facing in the opposite direction as everyone else. You're looking at this. They're all facing in this direction, and we're looking down on their heads. In front is your mother, and then a diagonal behind her are what we are calling the daughters, and at the very back, the Divine Mother. Okay?
Yep.
And I'm going to leave that up because I see no reason not to leave that there in case for some reason you get confused. And again, there'll be opportunities as I go along. If you're stuck or snagged or something, just let me know, okay? And I will do a little bit of custom work, okay? Okay, so find your center, find yourself. Just settle on in. And I'm going to invite everyone before you do that to mute yourselves, just in case there's ambient noise. And close your eyes and enter that space. And kind of like the Heart of Business constellation, only, you know, it's just you. Imagine yourself in a space with your business. And just get a sense of what that's like now for you. How does it feel? What's the energy like? What's the tone? And then bring in a representative for your mother. So it's you, your business, and your mother. Just notice what changes, if anything. What is it like? What's the constellation like? What's the feeling? What's the tone? What's the arrangement like? Who's standing next to who? Does anyone have their back turned? Just notice what that feels like. Again, without judgment, without needing to change it, with curiosity. And you're kind of bookmark this because you're going to compare it with what it's going to feel like at the end. Then you're going to allow the representation for the business to kind of step aside and go into the background. It will come to the foreground at the end of the exercise, but for now, we want to imagine it just looking on. It's not really much a part of what's going to happen next. And at this point, you kind of recede a little bit too. You're an observer in what's about to happen, not really a participant. Although you'll probably have feelings as you go along the way. You just see your mother there, facing in a direction where you can see her. And then you're going to bring in, and at this point, I'm going to use the language of the Divine Mother. but it might be Mother Earth, just whatever language for this that works for you, just translate in your own mind whenever I say the Divine Mother, okay? Bring in a representation for the Divine Mother, and she is going to be behind your mother. And I should have sort of reversed the diagram. Instead of going over and to the left, now it goes over and to the right. So imagine the Divine Mother, considerably, at least 10 feet, 20 feet behind your mother and over to the right. So you can see her over there. And notice what, if anything, changes in the feeling tone of things. And then please imagine the first daughter. And this probably makes sense to you now because we did it the other way with the fathers and the sons. But we have the Divine Mother, and imagine in front of her, on the diagonal towards your mother, the first daughter of the first mother. Supported by the Divine Mother. Just notice what it feels like to have an image of the secure connection between a mother and a daughter. The first mother and the first daughter. And then you're going to add the second daughter. They're the Divine Mother, and then her daughter, and then that daughter is a mother to the next daughter. We're starting a chain of mothers with their daughters. And then add another one. Another daughter in the line. And now on your own time, I'm going to invite you to start adding more daughters to the mothers. Gradually filling in the line between the Divine Mother and your own mother. Now it is possible that somewhere in there, something's going to feel sticky or a little incomplete or not quite right. Just notice that. I'll give you an opportunity to let me know about that in a moment. Keep adding daughters. And then at some point, you're going to sort of notice, that one is your great-grandmother, and then one's your great-grandmother, and then one's your grandmother, which is your mother's mother. Until there's an entire restored line of mothers and daughters from the Divine Mother to your own mother, so that your mother can feel the connection through all of the other mothers to the Divine Mother. Just breathe. If any static is coming up, keep breathing. And then if at this point you feel like you need a little bit of personal coaching, just raise your hand and I'll call your name.
Yeah, I didn't know when this comes in, but if there's stuff going on back there in
Could
previous,
you be more specific, please?
well, I came to a place where it felt like the daughter was abused or hurt in some way,
Okay. How
physically and emotionally.
how far back? Like 5 lines, 10 lines? You can give me approximate. That's fine.
It's probably like between 8 and 10,
Okay.
and it wasn't only there. Then that started to come forward, and somewhere then closer to my great grandmother, it shifted a little bit into the mother's kind of being like stone, almost like hard to show emotion,
Okay.
hard to show that they care. It didn't mean that they didn't. Um,
So the daughter who you've got pegged as abused, is it abused by her mother or by somebody else in the system?
well, it seemed like it was her mother.
Okay, so then the interruption is her mother.
I
It's
think
not
so.
because she wouldn't have abused her daughter if there wasn't already an interruption.
Mm-hmm.
So close your eyes, place your attention on her mother.
Mm-hmm.
And reconnect her up with Divine Mother, the abusive mom. And let me know if that seems workable.
Sort of. I mean, I can see the line going back to the Divine Mother from this one.
Okay. So I'm looking at that quote unquote abusive mother. Bring to the left and the right of her, and this is a little symbolic, but it's important, her sisters.
Mm.
And to the left and right of her mother, her sisters, aka the abusive mother's aunts.
So now I'm bringing the sisters to the left and right of the one that was abused, or the
No,
abused.
the abusive mother. We're focusing on the abusive mother right now because she's the interruption. Once
Okay.
we get things fixed with her, it should be okay afterwards.
And where do the aunts go then?
With her mother. So it's her aunts. So the abusive mother's aunts, which are her mother's sisters. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So she's got sisters and she's got aunts. Got a funny feeling the aunts are even more important. Just bring them in, more female energy. And see if that helps that abusive mother. And we've got to use that in quotation marks because we don't want to leave her with that moniker. But if that connects her up more with the Divine Mother, to have the aunts and the sisters. It looks like you're nodding in the positive there.
I think so.
Okay. And now bring your attention to the abused daughter, who's now got aunts as well. And notice if she can feel the Divine Mother through her own mother and her aunts.
Yeah, that feels.
Yeah. So now start re-adding the daughters and see if that fixes the stone thing further down. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave you to do that a little bit. Ruth, do you need anything or are you doing okay? It's going well for you. Okay. Back to you, Ellen. How are you doing?
I actually tracked the sister thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Good.
So I knew where that went. I actually added that in.
Cool. And how's the connection between your mother and her mother feeling now?
I'm noticing a lot of masculine energy in the line.
Is this positive, negative, or neutral?
Shaping?
Is that positive, negative, or neutral? I know.
I don't want to judge it. I'm just telling you it's there.
Well, what I mean is it seemed to be having a negative effect on the women's ability to connect up with Divine Mother, or a positive effect, or no effect. Or it's having other effects, but it's not interfering with that.
Yeah, I think it is part of the response, sort of the stance around it, like she was saying around stone, it doesn't feel like a stone, it just feels like a masculine stance towards it.
Okay, so at this point, what I want you to do, it's a little bit of double duty, but you did it last time. Add in the father lineage and hooked up to Father Sky, Divine Father. So have your mother connected to her father and have that lineage going all the way back to the Divine Father. So there's a Divine Father and a Divine Mother connection. And wherever there's a masculine presence, I mean, makes sense, It takes two to make babies. Just find a way to sort of remind the system about the Divine Father and its connection to it. Now that may be a little bit bigger than the chunk we can take in this short exercise. But if you can imagine, everyone can imagine at the end, a partnership between the Divine Father and the Divine Mother as the basic foundation for our entire lineage, the whole thing. There's a bit of contrivance in splitting up the father one day and doing mother another day, but it has its uses in chunking down a little bit. But in some systems, and Ellen, I've noticed this with other clients, and Ellen, yours may be one of them. Sometimes for one of them to feel better, it needs to feel the other one there as well. Another way to get at it is just to focus on the mother lineage, but at the end of it is both a Divine Mother and a Divine Father. So I'm going to invite everyone to find a place with their mothers that's good enough for now. Invite everyone to close their eyes, just notice their mother. And it may not be, for some of you, it may feel like 100% better. For others, it may be just 20% or 70%. Bring back your business. So it's you, your business, and your mother. And notice what, if anything, feels different. And if anyone's feeling really stuck, I'm going to invite you into a classic Hail Mary move. Just bring in a representation labeled What's missing? Just so that can be included. We don't need to know what it is, not for now. Just notice what it's like with you, your mother, and your business. In any way it might be different than the way it was before. And just noticing how that is, again, without judgment, with curiosity. And then slowly allow the image to just go away. Come back to yourself. And then come back to the group.